back. Let's now shift attention to Edo politics. We've been joined in the program by former House of Representatives member in the Third Republic and the Deputy Chairman of PDP in Edo State, Mr. Harrison Omagbon. He joins us via Zoom. Mr. Omagbon, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Well, before we get to some of the efforts being made by the PDP in terms of reconciliation, because we see that what is going on with the court case has really maybe divided the party along lines. There has been that division, but this maybe has further created that bigger fault. When we look at the judgment of the courts, we could see that perhaps if we saw it truly and very well, maybe there was nothing expressly saying that Asue Ighodalo, his candidacy has been invalidated, but lawyers will have to argue that. But from the CTC, we have saying that based on Article 50, sub 3 of the PDP Constitution and Section 82 of the Electoral Act 2022, that the people that were meant to vote were not allowed to vote, and that should not happen. And there was a mandatory injunction saying they have to be part of it. What is the party's interpretation of that? Because now it's a subject of multiple interpretation. On one hand, people are saying, oh, it did not say anything expressly about Asue Ighodalo's candidacy. On the other hand, if the court says the people that were supposed to vote for him were not allowed to vote for him, who then voted for him, and how does that affect his candidacy? I needed to clear that before we jump to the other issues.
Well, thank you so much. A similar judgment was given sometime last year when we had the delegate election as preludes to the assemblies, National Assembly elections, and other primaries. And the same judge, Justice Eku, gave a similar judgment for the delegates, and the case went as far as the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, I was physically present, and the justices of the Supreme Court ruled that it was not justiciable for delegates to sue parties because there are no parties to the election proper. So as far as I am concerned, for those who went to town celebrating that the judgment has sort of nullified Asue Ighodalo's candidature, it baffles me, because the reality of the matter is that for that judgment is belated, because the action has since been taken. The action was taken at Ogbe Stadium, where delegates came to participate in the primaries. And national officers of the party came to conduct the primaries. And whether you like it or not, the same electoral act says that for a candidate to emerge to represent the party is purely a party affair. It's a purely party matter. The party can decide who its candidates are. It's simple as ABC.
All right, I don't want to belabor that issue, just for proper context. What you're referring to is Section 84, subsection 14, that talks about the local standard of who can institute a suit against the candidate of the party. But theirs has to do with the Congress itself. I mean, the delegates that voted in that exercise, not necessarily. I'm just trying to be clear on that. I want to be sure I am correct.
Listen, it is the party. It is a party that knows who its delegates are, not any outsider. Any outsider in this circumstance is an interloper. It is a party that will say these are the candidates that emerged. Don't forget that these candidates emerged from a duly organized and contested delegate election. So if the candidates that emerged that was supervised by the national body as emerged, they are the ones that this national body supervised to conduct the primary at Ogbe Stadium.
Okay. Finally on this, let me read what the judgment says in page 35. I find that the second defendant in this case, which is the PDP, did not comply with the provisions of Section 82 of the Electoral Act, Article 53 of the Constitution of the second defendant, that's PDP, Article 1B1 of and other articles of the electoral guidelines of the primary election in the purported World Congress from which exhibit PDP-1 emanated. The judge says, on the whole, I therefore find that exhibit PDP-1 is bereft of credibility, and I so hold. What do you make of that reasoning?
I said before that a similar judgment was given sometime last year for a delegate election. And at the end of the day, it was thrown out by the Supreme Court that it was not justiciable. That, I mean, we were all present there. So a similar judgment was given before. And I wonder why the person who went to court would belabor the time of the court. But in any case, I do not see it deterring our efforts to make sure we retain the seat of governance of Edo State.
All right, that doesn't take away the fact that your party is clearly divided. There is a governor on one side with Asue Godalo and his team. There is Dan Obi, the vice chairman of the party South-South, Philip Shaibu, and others on the other side. What is the party doing to rally these aggrieved members?
Well, quite frankly, I personally feel that some people are unfair to the party because take Dan Obi, like you said. Dan Obi is the national vice chairman of the party, South-South. He owns it a duty to ensure that the party is well organized within his jurisdiction. But it's unfortunate that he is feeling aggrieved over what I don't think is necessary. I played politics alongside with him. I'm the deputy chairman of the party in the state. At one time, when we have what is called legacy and the governor's side, I was the chairman of his own side. But at the end of it all, I told him that when there is a fight, at the end of the fight, you get to a brick wall, you turn back and unite with your party. But unfortunately, some of them are still saying no, that they want to take it to whatever. It's just like what was said during the trial of the King Solomon's trial of two women. One said divide the child, the other one said don't divide the child. The real owner of the child said don't divide the child, whereas the other person said divide the child. That's what they are doing. To us, we feel that enough of this fight. Let us unite the party. And I'm sure the national body of the party has done all within its power to want to bring everybody together. But some of them are still recalcitrant. And then when you look at, like you said, Philip Shaibu has been with the governor all these years. And when we were having these battles in court, it was Philip Shaibu that was representing the governor in court. Not the governor never came there. Even the attorney general was never in court. It was Philip Shaibu that was coming to court. So he knew what transpired. If you have one disagreement at one time with your principal, it's not enough to say throw away the baby and the bathwater. It's not.
Aram Zawagwong.
Yes.
In the words of former Governor Adams Oshiomhole, he describes the situation in the PDP as the governor was given the master's bedroom and he ended up chasing everybody out of the entire building. Those were his words, not mine. Just hold on, sir, please. So I said that to say, what are they demanding for? I'm talking about the legacy group now.
Well, as we speak, I don't think they have come up with any demand other than let us destroy. If they had come with some of us, like I told you, I was a legacy person. I was. Some of us have said, look, we have reached the end of the break. Let's turn back. Let's unite with our party. And what we even asked, what is it that we want? None of them have been able to come up to say this is what they want. And saying what Oshiomhole said, you know, Oshiomhole most times can shoot before he sits back to think of what he has said. And this is not a matter. It is selfish of any person to want to liken governance of a state to an estate or to a housing affair. It's not. It's selfishness. That is selfishness. The question is, they should ask, has the governor performed well as a governor in the state? Has he done anything that has actually affected the lives of the people of the state? And the answer is yes. The governor has done exceedingly well in the state. And I, Agbogabo Harrison Omagbo, I am very proud of him for what he has done. He has done civil service reformation, he has constructed roads and so many other things.
Mr. Omagbo, that some people may be debating about the governor's performance. The feelers we get is that when it comes to some reforms, like the civil service reforms and all of that, the governor has done well, but he's being criticized for poor infrastructure in the state, being urban-centric, and several other things that they criticize, including insecurity, which he himself says the issue of cultism is a big deal. So looking at the fiscal performance, when he came into office as of 2016, the debt burden, entire debt burden, say local debt or domestic debt and foreign, everything came to less than 200 billion. But by the time he's leaving, by the records we have with the MBS, with the Debt Management Office, he may be leaving over 500 billion naira in terms of debt, although he's grown the IGR and increased salaries of the workers. Would you call that a great performance, given the debt profile of the state?
No, you see, my dear brother, if we want to be factual to ourselves, issues of debt burden is a national thing. It's not peculiar to Edo State alone. And don't forget, too, that the current rate of the naira vis-a-vis the dollar can also cause most of these problems. And when you talk of infrastructural development, what is infrastructural development? That which is much needed for us now is road network. And I tell you that Godwin Obaseki has tarred more roads in Benin and East Environ more than any other governor has done in this state. That I can attest to. At least I am a beneficiary of it. Where my father's house is located at Ihugbe, no government has ever touched that area. It tied the whole of that area, even up to my village. So, but we are in this state when some governors go to campaign, they will promise the people of rural area that they will tie 10-kilometer roads before the end of their tenure. And at the end of the day, they will leave without tying one pole of road. But look at Obaseki. Obaseki came to my own village, didn't tell anybody was going to tie road. At Igobazuwa alone, the headquarters of Via Southwest, Obaseki has tied 6 roads. 6. Those things are there for you to go.
Well, we see pictures, Mr. Magba, we see pictures even in Benin City where the flooding situation is nothing to be proud about as far as that is concerned. And hold on, Mr. Magba, of course, I don't live in Benin City. The other party is not here to debate with you on the issue of infrastructure, but the issue of infrastructure has been one of the flags against the governor.
But I am telling you that at least I'm in this state, that he has tarred more roads than any other governor. And when you talk about flooding, flooding is a global thing. And there's no country in this world today that is not suffering from flooding. Even Lagos, where you are, we see the pictures. So it's not peculiar to Edo State. And anybody that is making news out of that is just trying to belabor people's time. That's the way I look at it.
Mr. Magba, I've talked about debt burden. He says it's global. I've talked about flooding. He says it's global. What exactly uniquely has he addressed to the satisfaction of Edo people? Because when I call that debt burden, I know what I'm saying. It's a big one between when he came and what he's leaving. And fiscal performance is one of the ways you measure someone's performance in managing people's common wealth.
You see, if you entered Saple Road from Ring Road before in Benin, you will know the state what Benin was like. And if you enter now, at least there are signs of urbanization. That's one. And then 2, I was listening to someone's interview the other day. He was talking about sacking the central hospital to replace it with a museum. Reality of the matter is that the man has not come out to say that he's not making the hospital to be there. The hospital is being reconstructed, and the whole of that area has been re-engineered to an urban status, and we all appreciate it. That is the bitter truth. And the other day, somebody was talking about the secretariat that they brought the former president to commission a renovated project, and I said that is not correct. Because the project, the frames that Bermuda left there since 1973, they were there and governments have come and gone. None of them have looked at it. But this man did this, he made sure he completed the project for the state usage. And then in the same vein, apart from that very project, there are other things that Bermuda thought of when he was governor, like the Kuba River Dam, to be able to give water to the whole of Bender State. And he bought pipes for that project.
All right, Mr. Magbon. The reason I'm asking those questions is the fact that campaigns will soon start hitting up, and it will get intense, where everybody will be saying, giving rhetorics about what they can do or what they will be able to do. Aswe Godalo, whose the issue is this issue of court case and all of that. Besides his performance as a guru in the boardroom in the corporate world, in terms of politics, some people say he's a political neophyte because he's never run for an election. So he's going to be campaigning perhaps on the back of what the PDP has done. So if you're coming to certain places and telling people about what the PDP has done to earn them another term in government, what will it be?
I just told you that the governor has left a lot of legacies: infrastructural development, civil service reform, reformation, and then so many other things. When we get there, when we get to the bridge, we certainly will cross it. But again, you have to look at the candidatures or the candidates of all the parties. And then you have to look at them and say, who is fit enough to lead us? Not just because you have held one political position or the other, that automatically qualifies you to become a governor. You have to look at experience. You have to look at what you can offer. But to become a boardroom guru, it's not a human thing. It's something you work towards. And at least from there, you can be able to come with that experience to cause meaningful development to the state. It is not about whether there's nobody that is a political neophyte. There's none. We are all political animals. And whether we like it or not, we all play politics to day-to-day running of our lives. So so far so good. Aswen Godaro, I came in, he has reached out more to people more than any other political actor in this state.
All right, Mr. Omagwan, I want to thank you for coming on the program. Of course, I said that this is just getting started. So we're going to bring everybody on board so that when you're making your claims, the people that have contrary views will also make their claims as well. But I wish your party the very best. Mr. Harrison Omagwan, former member of the House of Representatives in the Third Republic and the Deputy Chairman of the PDP in Edo State. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
You are welcome. Thank you so much.